The Blood of Kyber, a Star Wars story, a Mother Ducker production.
VK4, I see some sort of settlement or camp ahead. I can't see too much. It's in the middle of a forest and there's fog everywhere. I'm heading over to check things out. You keep working on getting that communications driver up again. I can feel something's wrong, and it's been building since we landed here. Keep bay doors on lockdown until I return.
The little droid beat back at Braxel over the comm chat, confirming what he said. The knight, a tall, well-built human male in his young 30s, wore a thick brown cloak over his lightly coloured simple robes, a thick Rycorn leather equipment belt around his middle, and hanging from his left side was a black hilt of his light blade. His knee-high boots matching his belt, and his long brown hair being blown around in the wind behind him, his scrappy beard starting to irritate his face. He was making his way down the steep incline towards the forest, looming out of the dense fog ahead of him, many thoughts conflicting in his mind.
VK4, I'm at the edge of the forest now. Scanners are indicating complete loss of any comm signal, potential malfunctioning. But if you don't hear from me, don't worry. What? What do you mean the drive is unrepairable? You're supposed to be a maintenance droid. How can you not fix this? Ugh, I'll see what kinds of parts I can salvage, if any at all. This place has a dark feeling to it. Totally barren. Leaving now.
Braxel took his light blade hilt off of his belt and ignited it. Kashrith, Dark Lord, was almost a human. He was humanoid in shape, but the horns upon his head and his ghostly white skin would show you otherwise. It was almost like chalk. The horns were small but jagged and sharp. Many adorned his head. His hair was shaved completely on the left side and kept long and pushed back on the right side. Pure black and constantly clean shaven, he wore traditional robes on his lower half, loosely fitting in black trousers under black knee-length drapes, held fast by a large black leather belt, knee-high boots made from the same material as his belt, armor plates attached on the front and back. On his torso there was a single utility strap diagonally across his body attached to his belt. On this strap was all the necessary equipment that he used to carry back when he was a member of the Order. However now, that is no longer a part of him. He was free to do as he wished.
Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength.
Kashrith sat in the middle of a darkened room, the slight hum of the generator behind him greatly irritating him as he sat in deep meditation. Extended out in front of him was his right, heavily muscled arm, and a few inches further, seemingly hovering in midair, was the chromed hilt of his newly constructed light blade.
Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. And through victory, my chains are broken.
A warning alarm burst into life behind him, but deep in his meditation he did not hear it for a moment or two. However, it was silenced as the Dark Lord reached out with his energy and shattered the alarm silencer switch. He stood up and simultaneously grabbed his blade hilt from the air, relinquishing the energy grip he had in it, and walking swiftly and completely silently from the room.
VK4, can you hear me? VK? I'm not getting anything from you. If you can hear me, record this and relay it back to the Order when you fix the communications drive. Wait upon my return from then. Masters, I have landed on Aberralix in Quadrant 7. I have tracked the Dark Lord Kashrith to my ship's current location, where VK4 is trying to fix our damaged communications drive, along with minimal other damage to the vessel. I have ventured into the planet looking for Kashrith. I will find him and place him under arrest in the name of the Republic. However, if his life is taken in our expected duel, there is not much I can do. We cannot let this darkness spread any longer. VK, I'll be back, I hope.
The emerald green plasma humming of Braxel's light blade seemed to be the only sound in the whole of the forest besides his own footsteps. Braxel searched his surroundings as he walked quietly towards a small building.
Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. And through victory, my chains are broken.
Again, Kashrith recited the Code of Darkness, muttering it under his breath. He could feel the rage building in him as he stood on a repulsor platform at the top of a tall, dead tree, watching the emerald green shard move slowly in the distance.
Your first mistake. You are blinded by the Order.
The rage he felt was building, all caused by his betrayal to the Dark Lord. The Order failed him. They were controlling him. They were telling him what he could do and what he couldn't. They were no longer under their own control, but now the Republic decided what they were doing. The final straw for him was the way the Order was sending out so many knights to fight with the Republic soldiers, knowing that the Brotherhood of the Darkness was far too powerful. Barely any of them were coming back to the Order. All of this is what led to his final decision of leaving the Order. The Dark Lord took one last look behind him and vaulted over the rails, off the repulsor lift, into perfect silence. The wind rushed in Kashrith's face as he plummeted towards the forest floor.
Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. And through victory, my chains are broken.
He saw a tree branch hurtling towards him, and he harnessed his dark psychic powers to control himself and land precisely on the protruding branch, then slipping off to the next branch, landing perfectly on each branch on his way down, until he got to the forest floor. He could see the emerald glow of a light blade, but closer and clearer now. He sat on the floor and began to meditate once more.
Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken.
Braxel slowed his jog as he saw a shape emerging from the fog ahead of him. He took a moment to calm his breathing, lowered his light blade to his side before he calmly walked further towards the shape so he could see it clearer.
There is no emotion. There is peace. There is no ignorance. There is knowledge. There is no passion. There is serenity. There is no chaos. There is harmony. There is no death. There is only energy.
The Order's code was going round and round in Braxel's head as he walked onwards. He came to a stop as he was 10 meters or so from the now clearer figure, who was sat cross-legged amongst the fallen leaves and dirt between two great trees, his eyes closed and his hands on his knees. Braxel stood in front of the figure, his green light blade passively humming as it was held by his side.
In the name of the Galactic Senate of the Republic, you are under arrest, my lord.
I thought that this day was rapidly approaching, but I must say, you are here sooner than expected. You have made a mistake coming here alone, Braxel. The darkness has freed me. No more rules are forced upon me. I am free to do as I wish, to call upon the dark to strengthen me.
I do not fear death, Kashrith. I will never truly die. I will pass to the energy.
The ways of the Order are holding you back, restraining you. A man of your power would be greatly welcomed into the darkness. Join me, brother, and you will be free. Nothing to hold you down. Nothing to stop you gaining more power.
I would never join you. My allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy.
So be it. Then you shall perish.
Kashrith's eyes were closed throughout this whole encounter, but now they opened to reveal deep, red eyes. As they opened, Kashrith sprang into the air, his blade held in his hand as he was over Braxel's head, and by the time he landed quietly on the ground behind the knight, he had ignited the crimson red light blade. Braxel was no stranger to battle, and he acted quickly, spinning on his heels and bringing his green blade up horizontally to block the incoming strike at his head. Braxel pushed Kashrith back with his blade and backed off a few paces until he jumped back into battle. The two combatants met with their blades once again, swinging and spinning at a blindingly fast speed, the sounds of blades clashing, the loudest sound in the forest. The battle was relentless, powerful strikes being thrown at Braxel, who was expertly blocking each strike, using the momentum to move his blade quickly to where the next strike was coming from. One minor slip up and he would lose a limb, or his life. He was unafraid of death. Braxel was worried now. The Dark Lord's attacks were coming in faster and stronger as time passed. He couldn't let the darkness roam the galaxy any longer than it has now. Braxel called upon his energy to bring his stamina back so that he could continue to fight, something that he had done many times in combat when fighting in battles for the Republic. But again, Kashrith was faster. He called upon his energy and with a shout of anger let it pulse from him. It blew Braxel backwards with incredible force, and as he hit the large tree behind him, his light blade hilt flew from his grip and fell down a short embankment. and out of sight. Kashrith walked over to Braxel slowly, his light blade held steadily by his side, humming menacingly. When he reached the fallen man's feet, he pointed his light blade at Braxel's chest, so close that it singed a hole through his robes and boiled his exposed skin. Braxel was still coming to his senses, the back of his head pounding from hitting the tree, when Kashrith's blade appeared in front of him. He really was getting slow.
Enough! You've been beaten. I do not want to kill you, Braxel. It would be such a shame to waste so much talent.
Braxel reached out to his energy, using it to bring back his light blade hilt, hurtling it into his palm. But as he ignited the emerald blade, Kashrith plunged towards the center of Braxel's chest.
There is no emotion. There is peace. There is no ignorance. There is knowledge. There is no passion. There is serenity. There
Fallen
is
Knight
no
made a few
chaos.
pain-filled
There
sounds
is
and then let go of his blade hilt, as the blade retracted and dropped to the floor. The man fell back against the tree and closed his eyes for the final time, letting out his last breath. Kashrith stooped and picked up Braxel's hilt. Using his own red blade, he cut the hilt down the middle, grabbing the Kyber crystal inside and dropping the rest of the destroyed hilt. He lifted the crystal into the air with the energy and watched it slowly rotate.
Braxel Mortrath, you were a good man, but you let the Order control you. No longer can I let the Order control me. I have seen the ways of the dark, and it has set me free.
Using his energy, he corrupted Braxel's blade crystal and placed it into a small pouch in his crossed chest plate. He took one last look at the dead man and walked into the dark, foggy forest. The blood of Kyber had been spilt.